good evening, good afternoon, whatever have you evening for some of those in Eastern Standard Time and Daylight Central Time. My name is Omiyinka7, and I am bringing you a segment from my streaker, and this topic is our health segment, and I've done quite a bit on the educational system. So we break up some of the monotonous and talk a little bit about the health segment. As you know, well, this is going to be held within reordering the marriage vow of the African American for the 21st century. So we will be talking about health and its contents. I'd like to introduce to some of you and to reintroduce to others. Um, I am involved with holistic health, and on my speakers channel, I speak to men and women about health, and we also incorporate the marriage in there. So we're going to do a little bit of health, and this is up under the topics of reordering the marriage vow for the 21st century. So this topic is a little bit on the area of aging. And I don't know how well the other tape came out when I did the special on my birthday when I was talking about aging gracefully. I want to talk about the couples within its context, with the couples taking care of each other in their elder years. And it's very vital that we learn how to take care of ourselves, people. As you know, that our food substance is dwindling, and the very soil and the silt and the ground is depreciating, and we're getting more and more inferior vegetation, and therefore we're not able to depend on our vitamins being wholesome like we always wanted them to. So I want to speak to you a little bit about the care factor that I've incorporated within my marriage clinic. And under the care factor, we will have sabbaticals, and we also will have retreats. And these are going to be retreats where we teach couples how to care for themselves, health wise, how to be each other's physician and heal thyself. And we're going to give you the tools that you need to work with your partner. And one of the things I want to talk to you about is I've been a part of Young Livings for about, I'd say, almost 9 years now. Off and on, I have been able to post up the products. I don't push people into buying anything. I'm not the kind of salesman. Some of you have probably seen on my Facebook where I have listed the products there, and I try to educate and bring a different product each week, and I have an administrator that handles that. And I'm going to have to bring that back again because I'm really, really into the essential oils and the aromatherapies, because I know that our ancestors, they brought about the aromatherapy and the oils, and these essential oils were very, very healthy for African Americans and for the Kemetic people when other people were dying of the plagues. So I want to talk to you couples. Yes, both of you come in the room because I'm talking to both of you in duality, because you're going to have to take care of each. And that means that whoever's the oldest, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to start getting each other massages. So you say how to masseuse? Well, you're going to learn how to become a specialist in the area of Raindrop Therapy. That's right. In our care family under a marriage and family retreat or sabbatical, there will be lessons and training on the technique of learning. Young Living is the one that created the Raindrop Therapy. We actually have a textbook. We have not only the textbook, we also have the methods and procedures for doing the rainbow therapy. It's a rather unique procedure where you are basically allowing the oils to go to the spinal cord and oils to go right into the spinal cavity. So, what I like to say is that some of you don't realize you don't have to run to the doctor and the hospital for everything. There used to be a time we only went to the hospital under acute situation case. So preventative maintenance, we took care of that ourselves. And I spoke to you earlier and talked about Big Geechee from North Carolina, and that's why you hear me play that song all the time. I'm from North Carolina. Even though I didn't grow up there, my ancestors did, and they found traces of them out in North Carolina and some parts of Louisiana. So I'd like to say that in the South, we gravitated there because the soil was richer, the sun was hotter, it produced our vitamin D naturally in our bloodstream. Now, this oil that I'm talking about, essential oil, is not your cosmetic oil. You can't just buy it over the counter. It is actually grown out in Utah, and the factories there up under Young Living. Young Living is a fantastic company to be involved in, and I am so just I'm just so respectful of Richard and um, and his counterpart who brought me into Young Living, and they have been traveling all over the place. Richard did make his transition a couple of years ago, and his wife is still out there selling Young Living products, and she is the upline. And she has done a great job of dispensing monthly uh, products that are on sale and discounts and specials, and there's trips and the whole bit. And now that I'm retired, I really want to be a part of that regime. And I want to offer it to my followers to be a part of this, because once you become a care participant and become a raindrop therapist, you are a technician. You not only can just use it on your husband and your family and your children, but you can take this technique and use it on other constituents as clients and pretty much have your own clientele. So what I want to offer you is I'm going to be introducing you to a young lady who actually does the training classes, and you are doing about 26 hours total in getting this training. There's a specialty area of training in Bible essential oils as well, and Raindrop Therapy has Vitaplex, Bible oils, chemistry, emotional releases. Now, I want to talk about the emotional releases. Now, European, this is no offense against you, but you need to hear this. There is a lot of release that African Americans still have not released. That's why you see a sudden increase in post traumatic stress syndrome and a lot of mental illness. And I know this because I saw where the actual breathing in and of itself can be mistaken with mental health disorder. And anxiety is another whole mental health illness that needs to be treated differently than the full blown depression or the manic depressive. But I've seen that African Americans are mistreated and they're given wrong treatment, and they don't resolve the problem with post traumatic stress. Now, in studying Young Living, I found out these oils will help release and dispense a lot of those hidden emotions, and they eradicate them through the ear cavity, and they actually are able to put oils there so they can do the job of going and eradicating that memory. And some of us are still carrying the memory of our ancestors of slavery, and it causes us to be very fretful and go into anxiety and sometimes full-blown distress and post-traumatic stress syndrome, and some people actually go into full-blown depression, clinical depression. And then if it lasts long enough, then it goes into bipolar disorder. Now, a lot of African Americans are misdiagnosed under bipolar disorder. These oils will assist you, ladies and gentlemen. And I want you to understand that our sabbaticals, retreats, and institutions are going to be sent around healing segments. We all are healers and we can heal our own body, but these oils just help us along. And there are oils that actually work on the hearing of the hearing and they have actually eradicated hearing loss in some cases. Now, I'm not claiming anything. I'm offering a disclaimer. What I want you to know is that it's important that we learn these methodologies and we teach them to our children, so we won't be disassociated with our own stuff, and then we let other people go over to these foreign countries and pick up our oils and learn the things that we should be learning, and then they go and get the credit for. Now, I'm saying that these oils came right out of Egypt, some of them, and that's where the majority of them were found. And the materials that I have, you will see that there's stories being told of Egypt, of where these essential oils came from. And then they had the thieves, and these were actual thieves that went into these various different tombs, and instead of stealing the gold and silver, they stole the essential oils that were very rich in value and took those. And I want you to understand how valuable health is when you lose it. And I don't want you to get in a situation where you finally get free to be single and to be out there dating, and then you develop a health condition. Sometimes stress brings it on. So you must have preventative maintenance. And that's why I'm bringing this segment to you up under Reordering the Marriage Vow for the African American. Because when we become bonded to each other, we do something other than just love each other. We care for one another, and we heal each other's body, not only through sexual healing, but through medicinal healings. Now, the reason why I thought to bring this to you is because you are natural healers, women. Some of the first doctors in the world were women, African American women. And I want you to know that some of the first doctors were able to heal and were outstanding doctors. Now, I'm not asking you to become a doctor, only a therapeutic medicinal masseuse that can heal your significant other's body and yourself and your children. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about what goes on in some of these classes. And I will say this, there is a cost involved for taking these classes because experts will be teaching these classes. Now, this is all done in our institute. And there will be 4 days of workshop in Raindrop Therapy, VitaFlex Chemistry, Emotional Release, and Healing Oils of the Bible. 25 hours in partial application of essential oils, as well as 25 hours continuing education for those of you who need them, for massage therapy and body workers. And anyone else that would like to attend, we're going to save the date for exclusively for our couples. We can have couples that will work together and come with their tables so they can work on each other's back. So as we teach you the mechanism, and you become credentialed, and you're able to work with family members and your children, your loved ones, and go out and get your own client. And this is something that Omi can take advantage of and take away from you. Now, the participants completing the training will understand the fundamentals of aromatherapy. Some of you may have not heard that before, but aromatherapy is something that inhalation, you breathe it in through steam and oil, and it permeates the atmosphere of your home. And through these fusion containers, you begin to, the olfactors of your nose is one of the ways that you can get medicinals in the body. The top is on the skin, and then the olfactors through your nose and your ears, the auricles where the olfactors are open. That's why we use aromatherapy. And aromatherapy is used a lot in the private industry. There's a lot of stress. You will see some of them the companies bring in aromatherapists who are specialists, and they bring in the oils and they dispense the oils out the atmosphere. Over in Egypt, a long time ago, they told me that they dispensed oils throughout the various different kingdoms. And the rich had access to this oils, and they became healed, and they didn't have the plagues like some of the commoners had. Now, we're rolled in everything now. We got money, and we got jobs, and we got our husbands and our marriages. Now we got to get help. You just cannot get good marriages without reaching out for help, because it's vital to have good health. Now, participants completing the training will understand the fundamentals of aromatherapy, understand the science and chemistry of essential oils, learn to apply useful skills to the VitaFlex. Learn the raindrop technique, and there is a technique. You will have a textbook, and I think there's 3 volumes out of that textbook. I own one of those volumes, and you can go back and study. So this is going to call for ongoing studying where you can read up on the body parts, the tendons and the ligaments, and understand where this oil is traveling and how it is healing you. Now, the continuing education credit, the Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education, is approved by the National Certification Board for Therapeutic Massage and Bodywork, and as continuing education approved provider. Now, we will have a contact person Once you actually are able to come to one of our sessions, we will talk to you about registering for the class, arranging specifically for our group to have the class together. And this will be the group of married couples, and we are going to do some things together this summer and talking about traveling for discounted rates so that we can get to meet each other at some of these cities and we can travel. And all of these 2,000 followers I have, if at least 50 of them show up, then that means there's 50 more friends I have than I had before. And I'm smiling. So that's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. I like to meet some of the people that I'm conversing with over the 5 years. I've spoken to their lives, their family lives. They've seen my family and listened to my gripes and concerns. They probably think they know me, but they don't, because I'm still getting to know myself. All right. Now, important note, the online registration is not available for this CARE program, not just yet. I will announce the registration directly through the internet, and then I will invite you through Reordering the Marriage Vow for the time around for the first century. And we're going to couple that with some short trip. Maybe we'll meet in Carolina. Since I talk about Carolina so much, I've always wanted to go to North Carolina, and that's supposed to be where my family's hometown was. And originally Senegalian, which I was told I'm Senegal, and I was supposed to have the boat of Senegal. So we'll find out if I'm able to take that trip to Africa for the first time. But once again, I'd love for you to be a part of the healing factor that we talk about, because when the body doesn't feel good, boy, it doesn't feel good to have anyone touch you, talking about lovemaking. And when the body is expressing a disharmony, somebody that loves you needs to understand what is going on in your body and be considerate. That's why I want you to learn some mechanism and therapy technique that you can help your body without being in and out of the doctor's office, and you do some preventative maintenance. And that's what this whole marriage clinic is about. And our divorce clinic is also attached to it as well, because you know you need to be healed when you have to break off a relationship that can cause illness and distress as well. Now, I like to say that healing is for children, and I do believe the Creator wanted all of us to be healed. Now, let me tell you some of the things that you need to do in the class, okay? So you can start getting ready. There'll be a full refund of less than $50 for processing for cancellation no later than 2 weeks before the seminar date. What does it include? Class notes, necessary oils, handouts, and certificates acknowledging your participation in the course or courses taken are all included in the seminar fee. Now, the core course of 26 hours or a bundle of courses, you can take those courses independently through an a la carte special as well. What do you bring to the class? That is very important, and you really want to know that. And you want to tell your significant other he's got to bring his towel. He can't share yours, and bring his own ingredients. You want to bring 2 sheets, 2 bath towels, 1 hand towel, and if you would be willing to bring a massage table, please mention this when you register, okay? Because they won't have that for you. You are encouraged also to bring your Bible for the Bible oils classes. While there are no texts required to take the CARE class, if you own a copy of the Chemistry of Essential Oils, now there's a textbook, and you definitely want to look online, and we'll talk about how you can get that book, because it is a treasure to have. The essential oils, made simply, the release emotional pattern with essential oils, heal your body and feel burdened alive, feel buried alive, never die. Please bring them, as much as they will be referred to in the class. They will be referred to rather frequently in the class. I will not be teaching the class. We will have an instructor. Copies will be available at the seminar if you don't have a copy of your own, so you don't have to worry about bringing one. The seminar bookstore. The text and the DVD required for CCI the continuing education, as well as other publication may be available for sale also at the seminar. What some people say about the seminar, let me just read to you what some people are saying. This program was both educational, healing. I am healing in this, let me read this again. This program was both educational and healing. I am looking forward to adding the oil to my counseling practice and to integrate information to my teaching curricula. Okay? And it goes on to say the entire program was very well conceived and presented. Not only did it provide a solid theoretical foundation, but it was extremely practical as well. Our instructor showed herself to be extremely knowledgeable of the materials and shared that knowledge in a very patient and personal way. Also, she did an excellent job conveying her own belief while respecting the convictions of others. I highly recommend this course to those who are seeking to learn more about essential oils, emotion, and overall health. And it goes on to say, I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of the instruction that I received in each of the care classes. The instructor is an excellent teacher and is very patient and helpful, and in her students come to understand what she's teaching. She obviously has a great love for what she does and passes this passion on to the students. I would take more classes from her in a minute. Next it says, I came all the way to America for this course. It was far beyond all my expectations, and I recommend it to any person interested in healing. It is a testimony of good fellowship and a practical hands-on training, both widely and specifically focused. Great. And an RN writes, as an RN with extensive psychiatric nursing experience and licensed massage therapist, I have been exposed to a lot of educational and experientially, but this care seminar was one of the most comprehensive educational seminars I have ever come across. Now, and she goes on to say, a gift and talent presenter. A gifted and talented presenter. I hope this information can reach the masses of the absolute life transforming. And it says, I give my full endorsement to the teacher and her very compassionate and professional work. Several of my patients, some of my own family members, and I, okay, personally benefited from her work and her instructions. Her teaching, seminar, and work with clients have been very helpful for a wide variety of challenges. And it says, I have attended the teacher's seminar on essential oil. I told her in high regards, I found her in high regards as a colleague and a professional resource. Okay? The care program is an essential and integral part. It is an integral part of a lot of people's lives and a part of all the healing arts. And this new paradigm that will surely be a major movement. And it says, I am so thankful that God led me to this care class. The intensive care was a true gift and ability to work with people. I will take what I've learned to my family, friends, patients, and I will most definitely recommend this class to anyone. Now, I'm going to stop there to say that these are enough accolades to let you know that this is a good class. I've been trying to get in this class for 6 years, and each time I travel or try to get to it, it takes off, and I end up getting involved and can't get to the class. But I know there's going to be some classes in Illinois for those of you around the Midwest and who will want to try that. One of them is in the Midwest area, near the Chicago area, and I will make an announcement about our retreat which will be a retreat where you can come and relax and you learn this trade and be able to use it with your significant other in reordering the marriage vow. See, we're not just talking about sex all the time. We're talking about how to be each other's keeper and how to care for each other. That's why it's called the care class. So I want you to put that in your pipe and smoke on it and wait until he gets back in touch with you about it. We're planning for a retreat and a sabbatical soon. We're not just talking about reordering the marriage vow. We're going somewhere with this. I have a pot bean. If you can go out on my Facebook and you can listen to some of the things that we're talking about in the Blog Talk room and also in the Talk Show room. And now we're putting these on the YouTube so you can follow my channel, because I want everyone to know that we are focusing around the family. This is for African American families, and we are reordering the marriage vows for the 21st century. We're not just talking about it. We're doing something about it. We're going to meet up and we're going to connect, and we're going to do it African style, ladies and gentlemen. The next thing I'm going to introduce you to, I told you I was going to share with you a little bit about my foundation and my training, where it came from in being a priestess. So I will share with you of support groups to meet other priestesses in our circle, and how to be connected to some of those people that actually meet online and in person in the Midwest, of course, in Chicago. So all of this is African-centeredness, and the more conscious you become, you want to be African-centered. And learning to heal yourself is one of the aspects of being conscious-minded. Iyanla Vanzant, who is also an African priestess from the Yoruba faith, she is very focused in on the holistic ability of the priestess. Priestesses are supposed to be able to heal people. And when people come to you with any type of illness, not only with the counseling, you should be able to offer them some relief. So, for those of you who call yourself a counselor, you need to have some therapeutic mechanism and some way of also healing your client through not only counseling, but teaching them to heal their body topically. Aromatherapy is definitely a way that we can use that for our whole family household. And within these products, there are medicinal cleansing products that will keep the house sanitized and cut down on some of the bacteria and prevent some of the diseases from spreading. Now, let's get into relationship. We want to talk about the fact that we are now healing our significant other, and we're healing them with medicinal products. And we're also talking about taking trips and cruises together. So we want to keep the energy up and the momentum up so that we are up for our long trip and we can travel. When you get to be 60 years old like myself, a lot of people have a lot of aches and pains, and they don't get up every morning with the same cheerful smile. But I try to do that every day. And I try to make my way out of that bedroom no matter what, and out into the world and facing the world with a smile. Yes, it's very important that you smile a lot, and you give it to them, women, because men, they read smiles. They're able to say, oh, she was smiling at me. She must saw something in me. It's very important to flirt. Now, speaking of flirting, I also have a little gift for you for watching and staying with me today. If you go out on my Facebook, there is a link you can get Flirting Girls and Astrological Signs. I don't have the name of the book in front of me, but it's called Flirting Girls and Astrological Signs. I think that's what it's about. And it's a free book from Amazon. As long as you want to read it online in an ebook, or you can have it emailed to you. Now, I was attempting to mail out some of them to some people, but for some reason the link was not working. But I did put it on my Facebook and got it out to my Twitters as well as to my Googles. I think I got it out to Googles. So you can go out and check it out and sign up for that book. And we're going to talk about it in the Blog Talk room. And we're going to elaborate on, does like attract likes, or is it better for someone to go after opposite zodiac sign? Now, I believe that all the stars and consonants were in place when each one of us was born. And even Jesus, they followed after the star when Jesus was born, and it was foretold of his birth. So I am definitely into the zodiac signs. It's a part of my teaching because it goes with the divinations. And divination is predicting and foreseeing into the future. So it's very vital that we get an idea of what our life is going to be like, what we need to do to change, It may not always be 100%. It's good to have a good idea about what's going on in our bodies. And a lot of practitioners use the zodiac signs to help diagnose and treat. My brother, who you'll meet, will be a part of this training, Jimmy Harvey, who is also a metaphysicist, an energy healer. He does talk therapy, and he also is, I guess you would say, an how do I put it? He is a naturopathic doctor, and some folks call him the medicine man, but I choose to call him the man that has healing in the right palm of his hand. He is a healer. And ladies and gentlemen, there are many healers in my family, and I mean he's a healer. He just healed someone in my family from cancer at the 3rd stage. I've seen him heal many clients from cancer. He's traveled around the world learning and studying with shamans, and he has been called upon in many situations for healing, and he used the Cosmic records, and he does call on the zodiac sign to make his diagnosis. They are very, very important when he makes a diagnosis, and he is on the money, and he can diagnose over the phone, and he can assess from energy. So he is very good, not just because he's my brother, but because I've seen him in action. He has been a little bit non-functioning since he's been working with his mother and healing her. He didn't want to take any clients for a while, but he's coming back into full fruition, and I've asked him to come back and be a part of this show. You've heard him on the Blog Talk. He participated in the prayer and in some of the shows. You heard his voice. He's a very learned, well-rounded man, and you'll be glad to have him as part of it. We were born a year apart and a day apart, so we're very special. We're both Aries, born a day apart and a year apart. And I am his aunt and I'm his sister. So we do things twice. It's very interesting, and remind me to tell you about it later. But he is a charming, charming young man and has a wealth of knowledge on religion, spirituality, and healing, ladies and gentlemen. The body talk you will find to be fabulous because he talks to the body and he communes with the body to find out how to heal it. His specialty has been working with some dreadful diseases such as cancer, mental health patients, post-traumatic stress syndrome. And I won't go on anymore, but what I will tell you is this, that, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have a circle of friends that believe like you. You need to be in a ministry. And I've always thought it's best to create a ministry of friends that do the same things that you're doing. And I used to have a ministry called Family Affair Ministry with couples from around the Midwest. And we met up once a month for breakfast, and we brought in a panel of speakers to help us keep our marriage together and to help other people speak into our lives when we needed additional support. And that's what I'm trying to give you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to give you a hogwash and a lot of philosophy. I'm trying to give you a real support system. I didn't have that when I came back here from the United States, from overseas, and I wished I had it, and wish somebody could provide it for me. Maybe I would still be in that 37-year marriage. Unfortunately, it took its toll, the overseas trip, and the whole stress of it all, and the 9/11 took its toll on the marriage, and it did eventually give in. So I want you to know that your marriage does not have to give in. That's why you have a support system from Reordering the Marriage for the 21st century. And I want to tell you, we're not doing it the Eurocentric way. We're not doing it the Japanese way, the Chinese way, the Turkish way. We're not doing it the Mexican's way. We're doing it the African-American style. We have a foundation. If you can remember, we brought all civilization into being. If we have been able to help civilize the world, then my God, how come we can't civilize ourselves now when we're at a real dreadful stage of almost becoming extinct? And we've got to do everything to save ourselves. There's nothing out there in the sky that's going to come and save us but us. And sometimes we have to look around and save ourselves from ourselves, because we become so infatuated with what people have done to us. And I want to say this. You can win at loving. I know you can. Because you have to set a standard of how you want to be treated. and then you impress it upon those significant others in your life that you will tolerate nothing less than that. And then you rally yourself around that person, demonstrating how you want to be treated if you want him to change. You just can't change other individuals. The change has to start within you. And through your change, you cause the other person to change. And this is scriptural. It's written, I think, in Second Timothy is written that you win others by the way you rally around them and cause them to change. Now, I want to say this. Traveling with couples should be fun. I noticed that most of the DJs, they all get together and create an event where they all meet up every year. And I love gatherings. I love meeting up in groups and communing and conferencing call. I love that. That's a part of me. I love family, as you can see. And that's number one in my life. And wherever I go, I'm going to create me a family. I have a family up in Milwaukee and a bedroom there that I created. There's 2 families there and 2 homes that I can go to anytime I want and rest my weary head. And it's very vital that you have that. I have a family in Dallas, Texas, and can go and lay my weary head. And I have sisters there that are priestess that welcome me into the fold whenever I'm in town. You have to feel like you are rich through your relationships, not through all the money and the garb and clothes and the styles of your hair. That's not the only thing that makes you rich. Relationships make you rich. And I'm trying to make you rich today through good relationships. Those of you who have followed me and known me and stayed with me for the 5 years, you know that you're in good company when you're with Omi. And we're not just talking about getting the grain house and getting rich. We are going to be over the grain house in our rich relationships. And if you need something, I am my brother's keeper. We have to support one another. We have to understand that this individual pronoun I did not come from an African tradition. We are we concept. I am because we are, and because we are, therefore I am. I cannot exist without you. You cannot exist without me. We are one. If I expand myself and buy a new house and get a new car and we live on the same lot, you ought to be happy for me because you advance in my advancing. And if I suffer, you suffer too. There is no self. And this is what the Buddha teach. And I learned this lesson from the Buddhists. There is no self. There is no self, only a we concept. And the Buddhists teach that in the 5-fold mission. And there's a lot to learn from all denominations. And there is no other denomination that has it all together. And Jesus could possibly came for everyone in the universe. That's why many prophets were sent. And we have to acknowledge all of the prophets. And we have to understand that there's many paths to get to the Creator. Because the Creator lives on the inside of you. You don't have to walk very far. He resides within your being. And in your essence is where He placed Himself. And anytime you want to be near Him, you stir Him up. And you cause Him to come, or him or her, we usually say him or her, to come forward through the strife that you're having in your life. When you push up against the prick and you push and push, you bring the Godhead forward. He comes in a time of trouble. He is a fast deliverer in a time of trouble. And you commune with him or her inside of your being. He's not out there in the atmosphere anywhere. You won't find him up there in space. You never has found a sign or any signal that God is in that atmosphere. So quit looking for him in the atmosphere. And I want you to be wise people in your doing. And as we grow wise and grow in grace, we understand that aging does not have to mean that we are losing our minds and become decrepit. Keep your mind sharp. I fellowshipped around 102-year-old people in my family who still had sharp mind and were witty and able to test me. My sisters lived to be 80 years old, 3 of them. And now one is 78, climbing up the ladder to 80, and we're praying she gets there. Because it's reasonable to have 70 years plus, but I'm hoping that she gets to 80 and I can follow her and get to 100 and live a long, rightful life. But it's very vital that we have a quality of life. And when we talk about aging gracefully, we have to keep ourselves together and have fun in the process of life. And that's what keeps us youthful. That's what keeps us stress-free and firm skin, and we can carry on and have fun with the young, and they never know how old we are, and they'll say, "How old are you? You seem awfully young to be an older woman." And I tell them, I stay with the young folk and keep my skills up. But I'm an elder. Time, I will say that I'm still in love, and I'm never going to give up on love. And the last love affair I had was a grand one, and I enjoyed that love affair, and it was a short, sweet fling. However, I wanted to expect that it might. Now, I'm saying this to tell, don't let it stop you from being ordained. Don't let age make you now. Don't have to get out because you're up in age. You don't have to be complete and lost. Only act like lost when a man around so he can help you in your place. I'm lost. Where do I go? But snap out immediate when you've got attention that's sharper than you. I never want to walk being confounded all of the time. And it's very important to lay dumb on because it will up on you. I want to say this record. Doing Reordering of this vow for the 21st century has been fun. It's been enjoyable. Even the door for fling back in my life. And I didn't realize I was sending subliminals into the universe. I'm going to keep saying that I'm so subliminal to this universe. Some of the other significants that were good friends in my life, I would love communication and connection with. It's fun, ladies and gentlemen, when you can still enjoy love and experience being in love. And being in love is a good thing, even when you're up in age. Now, I will say this. In our marriage retreat, we are going to have some people that fall in love and that want to be married and that want to write their own marriage vows and their letters of memorandum. We're going to have a class on how do you write your letter of memorandum. What do you put in your letter of memorandum? And we've been talking about that in some of my on-demand tapes. But we're going to talk about it in person here on this segment. And this is Omi's channel. You're in Therapy with Omi. I have in music in Therapy with Omi, and I have in Therapy with Omi for the older folks who need to go into counseling, reordering your marriage vow. I'm a behavior therapist for birth to 3. But some of you folks act like infants and toddlers, so I have to use my teaching from the foundations on you. Now, I want to say this. Googles, I don't know how you operate, but I'm still trying to figure you out. I know that I get all these people that say, you might know them. Might you know them? Can you add them on? I don't know how it works. Do I invite you in, even if I don't know you, and be courteous, or what? But I'm getting a lot of strange people that want to be my friend. Why? They don't know me. They don't even come to my class or come to my Care to Read. Would they care to read? If they care to read, they can ask me to be their friend, and I might just say yes if they ask me to. Now, I would like to also say I've seen so many people posting everything, just posting everything. And where do you find the time to post so much? I am a retired worker, and I don't even have that kind of time to do all that posting. Some people just live on Google's posting. Now, when you make a business out of it, that's a different thing. And I aim to make a business out of what I'm doing so I can supplement. I'm not just going to be doing what I do. I aim to make a business out of it. That's right. So, I want you to understand that once you join Young Living, you make a business out of it too. I'm not going to be doing something that I'm not going to do. You decide how you see that and make all this extra dollars you implement yours. We be on money, and so when we walk away just plain and we have no come to show for. I say, the radio show, you can share revenues. Just learning to set up my rules, because I'll start making up. I don't want to just be wasting my time talking and using all my energy. I'll come back to me and $6. That makes sense. Now, reordering in our marriage vow. and gentlemen, because African Americans are so afraid to talk about what we are. And I want to say that us women, we have called youth, and we have the ability to pass wisdom to some of the young women. That's our. But we have second playing fiddle test to one. Now, it's quiet to 6 people and watch it fall through it after it, but all that gets to you want to know. See, I got this, okay? Because so much stuff I'm in contact with, we have to be proficient at. But the other people doing have no proficiency range or no proficiency at all and have background, but yet given a job. A lot of African Americans who are becoming ill because they have no employment. I've watched young men become ill because they cannot find anything to do, no work. Do you know it's important to be able to work and that you could become ill if you don't have work? So I'm saying to you, make yourself some work. In this training class, we're going to teach you how to stay busy and keep activities going and use your newfound technique in Young Living, Raindrop Therapy to develop your clientele, and you can stay busy and go to work without sitting there saying, boy, I wish I learned how to make some money on the internet, and if I can get some money on the internet, then I can buy me a computer or I can buy a new printer. It's very important that you should take this serious, because I've been creating websites and I'm pretty good at it, and I want to learn more about the mobiles, and I want to help people create their marketing material. So it's a desire I have. So as a social media queen, I'm going to be working real hard to play that up so that I can start developing ways to help contract myself out to help other people to build their websites and their remarkable mobile and develop their mobile web pages. So I want you to stay in tune with what's going on in technology. I have a computer love who loves computers, but he rarely has time to sit with me and teach me everything. He's amazed when he finds out I figured it out myself. And most people think because I have a computer love that he's helping me with everything, but he's not. He comes over and he shakes his head at me. Good job, Mom. Way to go. And then he keeps on with his work. So it forces me to try to learn how to do things myself. And I'm learning very well how to do websites. I do have a design background, so I do know how to balance colors and put things together on a web page. So I'm hoping that I'll get more experience, and I do miss my other counterpart who was a social media king, and I am looking for a social media king to work with me so that we can have things in duality. The next person will have to have a handle on social media so we can have something in common and to talk about. And on that note, we're getting into another whole subject, and we were only talking about youth and gracefully. I want now to gracefully develop and to develop your skills and stick as youthful as you can. Now use it because you're trained to be healer. We'll be getting to you with the day in which we're going to offering those classes, and I will invite you in privately. This is for all followers. We with a small people in trouble and can't see what we buy this client next to you. This is everybody is very take you want to train is a training under 5 hours, but it's 20 hours. Hey, walk away with the ability to develop yourself as a if you continue your training, and also can clients words only to mention family members paid clients, and you offer the ability to use the therapy, and so then you must become, and if anybody don't have been your husband, your significant, then the client be healthy, them help you, but use oil, use the phone in your home because the pocket will be beneficial. Them at home price once you remember feeding your pockets now, keeping your dollar in your own community and your dollar about more than one's own community. We'll talk more about it next. I'll give you a list of the product line, and I'll try to bring some of those books with me. The textbook that we were talking about for Raindrop Therapy. You've been a great listening audience, and I want to say thank you for listening to Omi and being a part of this session. And I'd like to say you've been listening to Maddie Harvey's baby sister. And on that note, we say, oh, double and baba booey to you, y'all. Straight ahead, Indiana, and into the future. Thank you. Please do enjoy our tape and listen for me on Friday. I'll be in the blog talk room, and Saturday and Sunday, if it be inshallah.